The world sees the lights, the stages, the harmonies. But behind the music, some of the most beloved R&B bands were torn apart from the inside. Not by fame, not by fans, but by the very people meant to protect them. These are 10 R&B bands destroyed by their own managers. Number 10, the Delphonics, Sweet Soul, Sour Dealings.
I gave my heart and soul to you, girl.
They gave us lush falsettos, velvety strings, and unforgettable ballads like La La Means I Love You. But while the Delphonics floated on love songs, their real story was tangled in deception. In the late 1960s, the Philadelphia soul scene was blooming, and the Delphonics, guided by producer-manager Tom Bell and label head Stan Watson, were front and center. But behind that success was a storm of poor contracts, withheld royalties, and control issues. The group's earnings didn't reflect their chart success, and some members didn't even know who owned the rights to their biggest hits. You can almost picture the Smoky Soul Train set, Delphonic suits glistening under the lights, while back home, checks weren't coming in. Over time, the original lineup splintered, lawsuits followed.
10 times or more, yes, I walk out the door.
Today, their harmonies still grace movie soundtracks and romantic playlists. But the betrayal behind the scenes left scars deeper than love could heal. If that was a story of sweet soul turned sour, this next one is pure heartbreak disguised in sequins. Number 9, LaBelle, From Glam to Gone. LaBelle lit up the 1970s like a disco comet with their cosmic outfits and feminist funk anthems. Lady Marmalade wasn't just a hit, it was a revolution. But behind the platform boots and glitter was a fractured relationship with management that slowly burned the trio from the inside. Initially managed by Vicky Wickham, a powerful figure in the UK music scene. LaBelle were encouraged to embrace Afrofuturism and push the boundaries of their image and sound. And it worked for a while. But the same manager who helped shape their identity also pushed them into an exhausting tour schedule and high-pressure reinventions, driving personal wedges between Patti LaBelle, Nona Hendrix, and Sarah Dash. Internal tension mounted, creative differences flared. Management allegedly fanned the flames rather than soothed them. By 1996, at the height of their fame, the band abruptly disbanded, leaving fans shocked and confused. The spark never fully reignited, despite reunion efforts. Management may have helped birth the LaBelle we loved, but it also pushed the group beyond its breaking point at the end. And if you think fame and fatigue were enough to break a band, wait until you hear how this next manager stole not just money, but an entire identity. Number 8, the Dramatics, Betrayed in Broad Daylight.
I want so much to touch the feelings deep.
When In the Rain hit the airwaves in 1972, it was magic. A slow storm of sorrow, orchestrated with cinematic flair. But while the Dramatics climbed the charts, they were being pulled apart behind the curtain by mismanagement that blurred the lines between business and betrayal. Tony Hester, the group's early producer and manager, was a genius, but also a troubled figure. The group often found themselves in financially precarious deals, and internal trust eroded fast.
Can't keep my hands off of you. I love the...
Later, as members tried to break away and reclaim control of their music and image, they found themselves locked into contracts they didn't fully understand or agree to. Imagine watching your voice rise on the charts while your pockets stay empty. Legal battles ensued, factions formed within the group, multiple touring groups claiming to be the Dramatics emerged, each with different lineups, but all born from the same broken core. They never fully escaped the shadow of those early betrayals. But trust me, nothing will prepare you for what's coming at number 7. Number 7, the Chi-Lites, Silenced by the Suits.
To the movies, maybe to the park.
The Chi-Lites gave us silk-drenched slow jams like Oh Girl and Have You Seen Her, songs that felt like heartbreak carved into vinyl. But the pain behind their music didn't just come from romance. It came from a manager who allegedly kept them in the dark while cashing in on their light. Managed under Brunswick Records and producer Carl Davis.
Oh, why did you have to leave and go away?
The Chi-Lites found quick success in the early 1970s, but the members later revealed they had little control over their contracts, royalty payments, or long-term business decisions. While their songs were climbing the Billboard charts, the money wasn't flowing into their pockets. Worse, when lead singer Eugene Record tried to push for more transparency, the response was silence or punishment.
Why, oh, why did you have to leave and
Their success couldn't hold the group together. Lawsuits followed. Members split and reformed in various lineups, many battling over the name and legacy they helped build. Their harmonies touched millions, but behind the scenes, they were voiceless in the boardroom. If that one hurt, this next story might make you want to unplug your stereo. Number 6. Black Ivory, the teens who never saw a dime.
don't walk away?
They were barely out of high school when they recorded Don't Turn Around. With soaring falsettos and tender lyrics, Black Ivory was poised to become one of the biggest soul trios of the 1970s. But their youthful trust in the wrong manager cost them everything. Patrick Adams, their producer and manager, was instrumental in shaping their sound. But as the years passed, the group began to question where the money was going. Royalties were late or non-existent. Performances brought applause, not paychecks. They were promised ownership, but ended up with empty hands. As adults, the members of Black Ivory opened up about how their naivety was exploited. They were never taught the business, only to perform, smile, and sign. Their songs live on as quiet storm classics. But the storm they endured off stage left them disillusioned before they even hit 25. If these stories of soul and betrayal are hitting home, give this video a thumbs up. It helps us keep these voices heard and these truths remembered. And stick around, the worst betrayals are still to come. Number 5, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, a name that was never theirs.
Was a sweet love, the love I love.
The voice everyone remembers is Teddy Pendergrass, but the name on the marquee was Harold Melvin, and that is where the trouble began. Formed in Philadelphia and signed to Gamble and Huff's Philadelphia International label, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes delivered classics like If You Don't Know Me By Now.
I can't remember nothing, no.
But while Teddy's growling passion made them a household name, he was never paid or treated like a front man. That decision came directly from Harold Melvin, who also performed in the group and held tight control over the name, the finances, and the spotlight. Teddy was just 21 when he joined, and he quickly realized he was the star, but not the boss. Tensions rose. Paychecks didn't reflect Teddy's value.
It was a good love. I lost it. She was a sweet love.
Eventually, he left to pursue a solo career, and the group never recovered. It was a power move that elevated Teddy's career, but left the Blue Notes behind. A cautionary tale of ego, mismanagement, and the high cost of control. And if that was about a name stolen from within, this next one is about a legacy erased before it ever took off. Number 4, Zap, Electro-Funk Betrayal in Blood.
1 2 1 2. Party people in the place to be. You got rusty.
The Talk Box. the groove. More bounce to the ounce. Zapp didn't just make music, they created a sound that would ripple through hip-hop and R&B for decades. But their rise was shadowed by tragedy, and at the center was their own manager, who also happened to be family.
Couldn't believe my eyes. Said go the young fella up on the rooftop. Everybody knew that he was gonna drop.
Roger Troutman, Zapp's frontman and creative mastermind, was managed by his older brother Larry. The group soared in the 1980s, signed to Bootsy Collins' label and later Warner Brothers. But tensions grew. Roger's solo career eclipsed the group, and business decisions became personal. By the late 1990s, Roger had fired Larry as his manager. Then came the unthinkable. In 1999, Roger was shot and killed. Larry was found dead by suicide nearby. The tragedy shocked the music world. While the full motives remain debated, many believe that resentment over management disputes and financial fallout played a role. Zapp's sound lives on in samples and tributes, but their story is haunted by betrayal and bloodshed. Number 3, the Isley Brothers, a dynasty undone by a brother's pen.
There's no guarantee. Smile in them.
They survived the Beatles era, disco, funk, and hip-hop. A rare band that evolved with every generation. But even for legends like the Isley Brothers, the biggest threat didn't come from outside. It came from family and the fine print. Ronald, Rudolph, and O'Kelly Isley built their legacy brick by brick.
Red tape in the way. I could take you.
Starting with Shout in the 1950s and peaking with Between the Sheets in the 1980s. As younger brothers Ernie and Marvin joined, so did internal complexity. In the 1990s, Ronald signed a management agreement giving Marvin major control over business decisions. It seemed like a family affair, until lawsuits revealed alleged mismanagement of millions. Royalties were redirected, copyrights were disputed.
Stand up, power. Yeah.
Ronald eventually sued Marvin, claiming deception and financial abuse. The band fractured into dueling lineups. The once united Isley name became the subject of bitter courtrooms instead of concert stages. Even icons aren't immune when family and finances mix, especially when the manager holds the checkbook in the bloodline. Number 2, the 5 stair steps, push down the steps. They were hailed as the first family of soul before the Jackson 5 ever moonwalked onto the scene. With their hit OOH Child, the 5 stair steps captured the world's hope in a single melody. But their story is a case study in how ambition and manipulation can collide even within your own home. Managed by their father, Clarence Burke Sr., the stair steps were groomed for greatness from early childhood. But as they grew older, the cracks in the foundation became too large to ignore. The group had little agency. Business decisions were tightly held by their father manager, and they were signed into deals that offered almost no creative control or financial reward. When eldest son Clarence Jr. tried to steer the group toward independence, tensions escalated. The group fractured, solo efforts fizzled, and OOH Child became both a gift and a curse. A song of promise tied to a painful past. They were meant to rise together. Instead, they stumbled down under the weight of one man's control. And now, the number 1 story. A tale of global fame, Diamond Records, and a manager who profited while the band declared bankruptcy. Number 1, TLC, fame, bankruptcy, and the manager who cashed in.
Love is a guy that thinks he's flying, is also known as a buster.
They were the best-selling American girl group of all time. Waterfalls, Creep, No Scrubs. TLC didn't just top the charts, they rewrote the rules of R&B. But behind the hits was a contract so exploitative, it turned platinum into pennies. Their manager, Perry Pebbles Reed, signed them through her company, Pebetone.
And on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at him, hey,
The contracts looked sleek, but were devastating in practice. Despite selling over 10 million copies of Crazy Sexy Cool, each member reportedly earned less than $50,000. Royalties were funneled through Pebetone, which took massive cuts. When they questioned the numbers, they were stonewalled or shut down. In 1995, just as they were accepting Grammy Awards, TLC filed for bankruptcy. Pebbles denied wrongdoing, but legal battles followed. The damage was already done.
trying to holler at me.
The group fought to reclaim their careers, but the financial scars and emotional trauma ran deep. This wasn't a small-time scam. It was a masterclass in manipulation, dressed up in pop success. Talent and chemistry weren't enough. What broke TLC wasn't the music industry. It was the very person hired to protect them from it. From teenage dreamers to seasoned legends, these bands gave us the soundtrack of generations. But behind the rhythm were contracts, betrayals, and managers who chose profit over protection. Thanks for watching and honoring these artists with us. If you want to keep exploring the hidden stories behind the music, make sure to subscribe. One click helps us bring these truths to light. And don't stop now. Click the end screen to watch 10 underrated 60s R&B albums that deserved more attention. It's a journey through legends, losses, and the unexpected comebacks you didn't see coming. Keep the soul alive. We'll see you there.